So have you heard? It's Visa Bulletin time. Every month, the government releases the Visa Bulletin to tell people how they can move forward with their green card process, and I'm going to tell you all about it in just a second. Hello everyone, I'm attorney Lee Marvin, and I have been practicing law for over 20 years, and I've specialized in immigration law for over a decade. My main office is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but I help individuals and families from every state in the country and really any country on the planet. Stick around, like I said, to get that Visa Bulletin explanation for it's August of 2024. So what is the Visa Bulletin? What is it used for? So the Visa Bulletin, as I said before, it's a publication from the government, technically the State Department, for visas to be released and interviews to be scheduled for family-based and employment-based processes. We only do family-based, so I'm only going to talk about that today, okay? So the Visa Bulletin, it is divided into several categories with lines and grids and all sorts of things because there's a certain number of visas that are available every single year for family members to use for their loved ones to get a green card to enter the United States, okay? So the government has to limit based on country so that people get a fair shake at getting their green cards, okay? So they divide it into 5 different criteria, 5 different areas. China, India, Mexico, the Philippines. Those are the 4 specific countries they give a pool of visas to, and then everyone else. They called all chargeability areas except the ones that I just mentioned, okay? So they do it that way because there's so many people from China, India, Mexico, and the Philippines that those people would just take all the available visas if they were able to because of the numbers. So they carve out the section for everyone else, okay? So that's why they do it like that. So those are the 5 different areas for visa availability, and then they divide it in the family member section. So F1 through F4, and it goes from unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizens have the first priority, okay? Second priority, they divide it in 2, between spouses and children of permanent residents and unmarried sons and daughters of permanent residents. The difference between the 2, children are under the age of 21 and unmarried sons and daughters, you get it, okay? The third category are married sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. And then the last category are brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens, okay? So those are the different groups that can be sponsored by their family members, okay? So the wait times change, like I said, every month, okay? So every month they're a little bit different. So I'm going to go through those dates right now. So the first category, F1, they're processing October of 2015, okay? And that's true for China, that's true for India, October of 2015. Mexico, they're processing May of 2002. Philippines, it's March of 2012. You can see by those years that Mexico has the highest number of people that are trying to immigrate. So it's the longest period of time for people waiting, okay? There's a lot of confusion. People are shocked when they find out that sons and daughters of U.S. citizens have such a long wait. Well, it's because there's so many people trying to come from these countries, especially Mexico, that it just takes that long to process them, okay? So the F2A, which is spouses and children of legal permanent residents, right now the general world is November of 2021. China is also November of 21, as is India and the Philippines. Mexico, once again, is a little bit different. It's February of 2021. So not bad. Again, basically a year ago this changed because there used to not be a waiting period for this category. The visas were available immediately. Well, that changed and it created all sorts of chaos because people all of a sudden had to wait when they hadn't had to wait for years and years and years. So it created significant issues for some people, which is why it's so important to watch this Visa Bulletin video every month so you have a better idea of how to plan for the future. The F2B is the unmarried sons and daughters, 21 years or older of legal permanent residents. So right now, the general world is processing May of 2016, which is the same for China and India. So May of 2016 is who they're processing right now. July of 2004 in Mexico. Once again, you see how backlogged they are in Mexico. In the Philippines is October of 2011. Okay, a little bit better, but still a bit of a wait. So the F3 is the married sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. And that's general world population, April of 2010. That's true for China. That's true for India. It's March of 2000 for Mexico. Long wait for Mexico. The Philippines, it's September of 2002, okay? F4, brothers and sisters of adult U.S. citizens. Right now, the general world population is processing August of 2007, okay? That's true for China. In India, it's January of 2006, February of 2001 for Mexico, and the Philippines is February of 2004, okay? So as you can see, we post that information on the screen as I'm explaining it to you, but that is the Visa Bulletin for August of 2024. So we're always looking ahead to the next month so you can plan ahead. So if you have questions about this, you can click on the link below to reach out directly to me. If you need help with the processing, with the filing of this stuff, I'm happy to help you. This stuff, you know, there's a lot of waiting for things, so it's important to kind of plan ahead because it's easy to forget about this until all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, what happened to that Visa Bulletin stuff? And you look, and it was several years later that you realize that you can move forward with something. And that's especially true for a lot of my Mexican clients. They forget that somebody had filed for them. So it's important to watch these videos and share this with other people so they can be up to speed with these things. You can click the notification bell for notifications, but you should subscribe to my channel so you get notified of all these different videos. Again, if you have questions, click the link below. I would love to help you with your process.